rural administration. Now, as the story goes, that Mohan and Raghu, they have brought to land, and there's a common place which is a gap. Okay, this is the boundary which they all have placed. But Mohan finds out that Raghu has intentionally increased the boundary and made a larger field. So obviously Mohan will be quite angry, and he went and complained to Raghu. But they both end up in fighting, and they went to the police station to lodge a complaint, and the story goes like that. So in this case, what happens? Raghu has increased the size of the land. So Mohan has seen that Raghu's property is much more than him. Slowly, slowly, if he keeps on increasing, then maybe he can get a larger area as compared to Mohan. So how can you resolve this problem? How will the outsiders understand that the boundary has been shifted? So what is the actual problem? To maintain these problems, there is something called keeping records. Were there any records kept, like this much of an land has, what is the area of Raghu's land? These recordings should be kept, so that if there are any changes in the boundary, then this recording, if it doesn't match, then Raghu can be put to jail, or some strict actions can be taken. Right? Yes. So all these problems, who will take care of the land problems, the farmer problems, all the record keeping problems? Who will keep? The person who keeps track of all these things are known as a patwari. Okay? What is it called? It is called a patwari. What is the work of a patwari? We are going to see that there are innumerable functions of a patwari, and there are different names of the patwaris. Some call it a lekpal, some call it as a karungo, some as a karmchari, some call it as a village officer. In different areas, in different states, the patwaris are being called in these names. Now let us see what are the different functions of patwari. The first function, he will measure the land and keep the land records. Yes, what I was saying, suppose it is like 5 katta, and this is also 5 katta. But after that, if he increases and it becomes like 5.2 chatak, then they will understand that how this change has come. It was initially 5 katta, but he has increased his area. Then these disputes will be checked by patwari. So he has to measure the land and keep all the land records. Number 2, he is responsible for a group of village. There are innumerable villages, village A, B, C. Inside that there are some small areas, some small plots, right? Plots of different sizes and different kinds. So in total, for a group of villages, a patwari is responsible. For many villages, like a group of small village, like a small district, you can say. Okay, he is responsible for keeping an eye on these points. The third is, he regularly has to update his records. Regularly has to look into the matter if things are okay, or if somebody is taking charge. Since in this case Raghu was a stronger person, politically strong, and had many fields, so he can easily overpower on Mohan. So these things have to be taken into consideration. He has to regularly update his order, that nobody is by force trying to act anything silly. Next point is point 4. He will check if all the boundaries of the plot, like in this case of Mohan and Raghu, has been changed. He will check if nothing is wrong in the borders. He will organize a collection of land revenues. Land revenues mean the tax. Whenever the farmers has to pay a particular amount of tax for their land, and these land taxes are being collected by this patwari. Okay. Sixth point is that let me complete the point. He organizes a collection of land from the farmers, and he provides the information to the government about the crops. How are the crops growing? Are they proper or not? The quality of the crop is good or not? All these little informations are being given over here. Okay, the next point, if a farmer has grown a particular crop, he has to be informed, or if he has dug a well, he has to keep track. Suppose a person has dug a well over here, okay, so he has to keep informed about this well also. There has to be in his note. All these points which you can see, these are the work of a patwari, or any of these names which you can call. And who keeps track of all these points? The senior people who work above a patwari, like a tehsildar. We are going to know about what's a tehsildar. So the senior people keeps track on all these kind of works which a patwari does. This is known as a tehsildar. Okay, now let's see how the recordings and how the land's been maintained. You can see that there are little divisions which have been done. What kind of divisions? Wait, let me just turn the page. Yes, there are little divisions done. What are the little divisions done? There are states. Under the state, there are districts. Many districts, as you know. Under these districts, it is subdivided into tehsil or talukas. What did I say? They are known as tehsil or talukas. These are all subdivisions of the district. They are named with different names. You can call a tehsil, you can call a talukdar, etc. Now, at the head of this talukas and tehsil is sitting the district head. What is known as a district head? He is known as a district collector, or you can call, it's known as a tehsildar. Tehsil's head, tehsildar, okay, or a district collector. Anyway, you can know. And what is the function of tehsildar? The function of tehsildar to supervise all the work of a patwari. What was the work of a patwari? I have already said. So these work of patwaris has to be checked. Any kind of land dispute, like the case of this, or making of a well, or any kind of land disputes, are being held at the tehsildar's office. They check and they keep track of all these things. I hope this portion is clear. Achha, next we come to know about RTI. RTI means right to information. What do you mean by this? You must have seen some properties. They have some of the maps, you know, some like this, some roads are there, another plot here, another plot here, and that this property has been named under so and so person. Right to information means the farmers who can keep a copy of all their land records. Suppose this is a RTI or a map of farmer A, and there is another plot. Maybe there's a well, there's a road. So this is a copy of plot B, plot A and plot B. So these are the right of information that every farmer A or B should know how much area his or her plot belongs. Now, why do we require these RTI? Why is this right of information so important? This is important for these particular reasons. To buy a plot of land from another, suppose A is about to buy a land from B. Now, A will not know what is the size of the land, how much area it has been covering. So, if he has this copy and he will give a copy of his to A, then A can easily buy a plot of land. Next, number 2 point is, if he wants a loan from the bank, suppose A wants a loan from the bank. So, he has to go to a bank and he has to pass this loan. To pass this loan, he has to show a copy that this is my area and I am taking a loan against this land. So, a loan from the bank is also helpful for this RTI information to see. Next, I have got to purchase of fertilizers for his or her field. They have to show what amount of fertilizers, how much they require, so that they do not do any kind of gandogol. The 4th point is, divide his or her property amongst the children. Suppose it's a property of land and he's got 3 or 4 children, boys and girls included. So A, B, C, D, E, he can divide these property among their children. Okay. Now, talking about boys and girls is an important point which you should know. This is called a Hindu Succession Amendment Law 2005. What is this law? This law is specially for the girls. What does it say? This law benefits a large amount of women and daughters and mothers. can get the equal amount of land just as their brothers and son. If a property of land, suppose there's a man and there's a woman and they have 3 children, okay, so this property will be actually divided into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 among 5 of them, out of which if 2 are boys and if 1 is a girl, then even the 5th child, that means a girl, has got the right to get a property just like her mother. So this law benefits that a large number of women like mothers and daughters will get equal amount of sharing just like the fathers and the sons or the brothers get. Okay, this is very, very important. This law is Hindu Succession Amendment Act 2005. It was launched in 2005, that is why the date has been given.